played the boxing game. And what this speaks to, and this is a boxing show, boxing is fundamentally exploitative. I get this as a fan. It's a guilty pleasure. I get it, right? And what usually it's fans and networks exploiting fighters, right? We say, we want to see you in blood and guts fights, which risks their health for the rest of their life to entertain us. But here's what's crazy to me about a fight like that. And I remember, you know, when I'm a little kid, Sugar Ray Leonard wins the gold medal. And then you blink, he's fighting Benitez for the title. Then he's fighting Durant twice. Then he's fighting Hearns. It didn't take 100 years to make the fight. But what's wild about something like this is a real super fight, and I said this on the broadcast for Crawford and Canelo, can't be promoted into existence. Right. What a real super fight is, the dust settles in an era, and there are two dudes left standing. There's Ali, there's Frazier, there's Leonard, there's Hagler, there's Mayweather, there's Pacquiao. That's a super fight, right? There's Crawford, there's Canelo. Those are two big fighters of the era. This type of fight, this could easily be at the end of an era, because Teo might be a dude left standing and Shakur could be the dude left standing, right?
I agree. Are you training to do something to not just beat Shakur, but to beat him in grand fashion? And when I say grand fashion, I mean going for the knockout.
Well, I think that the whole thing with is the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. You know, I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going from there.
We have going for us when a person underestimates you. That's lovely. And that ain't the only thing he's underestimating. So we're good.
Max Kellerman says this fight is no easy task, describing it as dangerous for Shakur Stevenson and a true test of skill.
Yes, it is not like, but there are some fights, guys. I think about Pernell Whitaker and Buddy McGirt, or Sugar Ray Leonard and Wilfred Benitez. I love the high-speed chess match. Not every fight has to be rock'em sock'em robots, right? That is, I agree with you. Aesthetically, there could be problems because someone has to take the lead, and they're both counterpunchers. But Chris, Teo has some angles with his feet that might bother a guy like Shakur.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, he has great angles with the feet. He moves greater in the ring. And combination fighter, to me, combinations is the...
Teofimo Lopez remains determined, stating that the fight will serve as a rude awakening for Shakur Stevenson when they finally meet.
Too hesitant, trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
Hey, Doug, you hear that? He said the Bible of boxing. What else is called the Bible of boxing? It's Ring Magazine. And he's a two-division Ring Magazine champ.
Great ambassador for those championship belts as well.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm very big on those things. You know, I claimed two.
Shakur Stevenson's coach, Jack, says they maintained their usual training methods but adjusted the strategy this time to prepare him more intelligently.
New little things, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's basically the same thing we've been doing. We changed the strategy, but no camp is never exactly the same. So yeah, it's just like always. Like, we may try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's mainly the same things. One of the best things we have going for us when a person underestimates you. That's lovely. And that ain't the only thing he's underestimating. So we're good.
Max Kellerman says that while Shakur Stevenson's power is impressive, Teofimo Lopez's strength and footwork in the ring are equally formidable, showcasing his determination and skill.
I mean, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just a guy who's going to hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right.
Yes. But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys. And I think about Buddy McGirt, Meldrick Taylor.
Yes.
Roy, you know, where Meldrick had quick enough feet where if you were going to come right at Buddy McGirt, he could box you. But Meldrick could give him angles that were more difficult. I think of Roy Jones, James Toney. If you were going to go at James Toney, forget it. His defense is too good. But Roy had the feet to move around James Toney, and maybe Teo has the feet to move around Shakur.
I seriously doubt it, man. Shakur is a whole different type of animal. His ring IQ is up there with the best. He's getting literally, I don't know how many times we've...
Shakur Stevenson says people often criticize him and don't give him the credit he deserves, frequently downplaying his achievements and labeling his opponents as insignificant.
Bad and beat them up. The first thing that they going to run to is, oh, this guy wasn't that good, or this guy is not nobody. They're gonna take away from my resume, same way they did with Bud. Just like my last fight. They turned the dude that I was fighting, and they say he's a cab driver. But I want to say his fight before he fought me, he fought Nakatani.
Mm-hmm.
And no disrespect to Tio. Tio had a majority decision with Nakatani. Lomachenko, it took him 9 or 10 rounds to get him out of there. That dude got him out of there in 6. So he couldn't be as bad as how they made him seem. But I think I'm just in a lose situation when it comes down to it, because anybody that I fight.
Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia has shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. While he leans towards Stevenson as the likely winner, he also acknowledges that Lopez cannot be underestimated. Garcia points out that Stevenson's skills, speed, and defensive mastery give him a clear advantage, making him a formidable challenge for anyone in the lightweight division. However, he admits that Lopez's power, determination, and adaptability make the fight far from predictable. Garcia emphasizes that boxing at this level is often decided by small margins, timing, and moments of opportunity. Even a favored fighter must remain cautious, as a single well-placed combination or tactical adjustment can change the course of a bout. For Garcia, the matchup represents a fascinating clash of styles, where Stevenson's technical brilliance meets Lopez's offensive versatility. While he favors Stevenson, he stresses that Lopez has the tools to pull off a surprising victory.
Teofimo surprises us all, for sure. Yeah. I think I'm underestimating Teofimo a little bit, but I don't think he can make the necessary adjustments to his own style to combat what Shakur does best, but he could definitely prove me wrong, for sure.
Oscar Valdez recently shared his perspective on the upcoming Teofimo Lopez vs Shakur Stevenson fight, explaining why he believes Lopez has a genuine chance to win. Valdez highlights Lopez's positioning, footwork, and natural counterpunching ability. He notes that Lopez uses his back foot to maintain balance, step back when necessary, and leverage his long reach to land precise counters. This combination allows him to engage in a style where he can absorb punches without taking excessive damage, a skill he has refined since his amateur days and Olympic experience. Valdez emphasizes that pure boxing fans may not always appreciate this approach, but it is a crucial part of Lopez's game. He points out that defeating a fighter like Shakur Stevenson requires patience, timing, and strategic pressure.
And then you see him comfortable and he's all right, this is my shot. And you throw it, he just rocks back, or he has that back foot, just steps back, and he has a long reach, so he just counters punches you. And that's part of the game. You get hit and not get hit. And Shakur Stevenson does it to the T. He perfected that since he was an amateur and Olympian, silver medalist, and now he's done it as a professional. You know, maybe not the whole world enjoys it, but the pure boxing fan will maybe appreciate that.
I know you tried to do it, and Shakur's undefeated at this point, but like, how do you beat a Shakur Stevenson?
You know, I think how you beat a Shakur Stevenson, if I can go back.
Teofimo Lopez must wait for the right moment to land effective shots that force Stevenson into difficult positions, just as other skilled fighters have done against technically superior opponents in boxing history. Valdez draws parallels to past matchups where precision and opportunistic timing allowed underdog fighters to claim unexpected victories. According to Valdez, Lopez's ability to remain composed, control distance, and deliver counters under pressure makes him a genuine threat. If he applies smart pressure while staying defensively sound, Lopez could challenge Stevenson's undefeated record. Valdez sees this matchup not just as a test of skill, but as a tactical battle where Lopez's counterpunching and strategic patience could prove decisive.
He ended up catching him. Sweet Pete Pernell Whitaker. He was an amazing defensive fighter until, Zurdo Ramirez came in and beat him, and other fighters. So everyone, I think time will tell what type of fighter, but I would say a pressured fighter. Maybe someone like Pitbull. We know Pitbull has had some losses with guys who are even less defensive fighters than Shakur Stevenson. So the Rayo Venezuela and then Gervonta Davis, and then
Zach Moses shared his candid thoughts on the upcoming fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, confidently stating that Stevenson is likely to dominate the matchup. He emphasizes that Stevenson's technical skills, speed, and ring IQ give him a significant advantage over Lopez. Moses notes that Stevenson's ability to control distance, read opponents, and capitalize on mistakes makes him a formidable challenge for anyone in the lightweight division. While acknowledging Lopez's power and determination, Moses believes Stevenson's experience, composure, and tactical approach will allow him to neutralize Lopez's strengths. He also references past fights like Vasile and Motin to highlight how Stevenson has consistently handled aggressive opponents, showing that his style is extremely difficult to overcome.
See that playing out?
I see him beating the shit out of Teofimo. I see Teo just, I don't want to really say too much, but I see Teo come to do what he do, and I see Shakur coming to do what he do, and I just see Shakur doing whatever he want, and any type of way he want it, that's how it's gonna be. And next week is a big week, and I can't wait for bro to show everybody, for real.
Should beat the shit out of him. Do you think he's gonna stop Teofimo Lopez? Do you think if he wants to, he can?
I mean, he act crazy, I think he can. That's all I'm gonna say. He act crazy, I think he can.
Last one. Obviously, with that fight in the horizon, you want to be involved in big fights like that going down, that New York, New Jersey rivalry. Is that something that inspires you when you see Shakur doing this at the highest level?
I mean, for sure.
Antonio Tava recently analyzed the upcoming fight between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, highlighting the only realistic path for Lopez to secure victory. Tava emphasizes that Stevenson's strength lies in controlling distance, using angles, and keeping the fight centered in the ring. When Stevenson maintains this positioning, he naturally dominates the bout, making it difficult for Lopez to find openings. However, if Stevenson is forced onto the back foot or against the ropes, Lopez gains critical opportunities to capitalize. His combination punching and ability to throw both hands in rapid succession make him especially dangerous in close quarters, even against a slick defensive opponent. Tava also stresses that conditioning and mental readiness will be just as crucial as technique.
Cool, but if he's on the back foot, if he's on the ropes, that's going to give Teofimo a lot of opportunities. And what makes Teofimo, I believe, dangerous in this fight, he throws both hands in succession. He's a combination type puncher, and that always serves well if you got a real slick defensive fighter in there. If Shakur can show us a little bit of that, what he had in his last fight, a lot of that work in the center of the ring, it's going to be an exciting fight. I think you got to favor the guy who's in the best condition, not only physically, but mentally. I think, these guys are going to have to lock in, and they can't let, that intricate, you got to have your personal life in order. You know what I'm saying? Leading up to a fight this big. That's going to be the...
Both fighters must be physically prepared and fully focused, setting aside personal distractions, because at this level, any lapse in concentration can be costly. While statistics and attributes favor Stevenson as the likely winner, Teofimo Lopez can make the fight far more challenging by forcing exchanges and applying pressure strategically. By keeping Stevenson wary of counter punches, Lopez can disrupt his rhythm, create openings, and potentially shift momentum in his favor. Lopez's stamina and relentless conditioning also give him an edge if the fight goes into the later rounds. Clemens points out that Lopez has historically risen to the occasion when counted out, referencing performances against elite opponents like Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. If Lopez can combine his power, precision, and resilience, he has a genuine chance to challenge Stevenson's dominance, making this fight an intriguing clash of skill, strategy, and willpower.
Zess?
Yeah, smart money would be on the boxer, Shakur Stevenson, winning the decision. But, if Lopez can make this fight, a lot tougher than expected, and he's going to have to exchange with Shakur. He's a fast fighter. We don't know who's the quickest or fastest here. You have to give the speed edge to Shakur. But if Lopez can punch with this fast guy, make him a little bit cautious and a little bit leery of what's coming back, that serves him well. But Teofimo is one of the best conditioned fighters out there. If this fight goes late, you can expect him to be pushing forward round 9, 10, and 11 if it goes late.
Yeah, a big question is always what Teo is going to show up. And when everyone's counted out Teo, it's actually been the times where he's upset people, like against Lomachenko, against Josh Taylor.
Wade Clemens delves into the dynamics of the upcoming Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson fight, highlighting Stevenson as a defensive master and a true maestro in the ring. According to Clemens, Stevenson's ability to turn defense into offense sets him apart, making him a modern professor of the sweet science. He reads punches, anticipates movements, and converts opponents' aggression into opportunities for counters. Plemons emphasizes that Stevenson's style is not about absorbing punishment or relying solely on volume. Unlike fighters who prioritize front foot pressure and relentless aggression, Lopez's strategy will likely focus on leveraging his boxing IQ while maintaining an offensive pace. Plemons suggests that if Lopez can get Stevenson to lead and fight on the front foot, it could reveal potential gaps in Stevenson's ability to control the center of the ring aggressively. Lopez's versatility, switching between defensive, counter-punching, and offensive pressure, might give him an edge in adapting to Stevenson's movements.
Just going to be front foot, volume punching, eat punches to give punches. That's not how he's going to fight. He is going to try to go boxing IQ for boxing IQ with Shakur, but I assume do it more on an offensive front foot pace than trying to goad Shakur to walk to him. I mean, it might be the best option for Teofimo if he could get Shakur to be front foot and offensive because of maybe the deficiencies Shakur has on the front foot. We haven't really seen him be a dominant front foot control center fighter. But this is why I'm hoping, again, knock on wood, we don't get like a defensive standoff where we're both feinting and no one wants to take the lead foot and both guys want to play counterpuncher. I think that Teo can do both better than Shakur can do both. I think Shakur is probably the better defensive to offensive fighter. I think Teo could probably...
However, Plemons also highlights the challenge Teofimo Lopez faces. Shakur Stevenson's defensive mastery, combined with his seamless offensive transitions, makes him extremely difficult to break through. Lopez will need to find ways to lure Stevenson into positions where counters can be exploited, but doing so demands patience, precision, and perfect timing. Any slip-up could allow Stevenson to regain control instantly. Ultimately, the fight is shaping up as a tactical showdown between two elite fighters. Stevenson's defensive brilliance and ability to turn defense into offense contrasts sharply with Lopez's offensive versatility and adaptability, setting the stage for a matchup that will test strategy, timing, and ring IQ at the highest level.
You know, rough clinch work, raking a forearm. I don't really know what he's talking about, but that's hilarious. He's just coming out and saying it. This is when Darren Till was telling Tommy Fury if he started losing the boxing match, he would kick him in the head. This is the same kind of energy, dude. Yeah, hey, listen, I might just do something illegal.
Basically, when you see a fighter like him, it is not illegal to do certain punches and throw certain punches or hit certain areas. It's not, as long as it's not below the belt line. Is that true?
Are you saying you're going to hit me in the back of the head? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are we talking about? You can't... I'm going to punch him in the back of the head.
Huh? You can't hit behind the head. I mean...
No, I know. There's rules to it.
Back of the head. You can't hit nobody in the back of the head.
Just saying, like...